is a kind of love that God only knows.
Hey, I think I hit everything. I think I have everything already recorded and online and mics unmuted. Hey, good morning, everybody. Healing consciousness. All too often, we get into this powerful profession of network marketing, and we want to save the world. We want to keep people from being hurt. We want to keep people from being in pain. We want to keep people from being challenged. And we want to go into this healing concept. We, somewhere along the line, we wind up buying a white coat and we want to go save the world, and we want to make sure that everybody's happy and healthy. So we get into this healing state of mind. The challenge is it's almost impossible to heal somebody if you are racked with the plague. Let me say that again nicely. It's hard to heal other people out of their pain when you are in pain. You will get temporary, intermittent success. But it is hard to heal other people when you are racked with the dis-ease, your body not at ease, as Bob Proctor would say. It's hard to put other people at ease when you are a total wreck inside. Welcome to episode 1493, Kick in the Teeth with Sean Murphy. This conversation powered by Ketones MCT oil for all of your good brain health. Listen, you do need to work on your brain. Go find a good MCT oil, a medium chain triglyceride. Find something, I promise you, and get a very good fish oil. If you are stressing and straining, your body is, I promise you, you're probably not doing any good fish oil. Good fish oil needs to be in the ratio EPA, DEH, needs to get in a good ratio, 600, 400. Anyways, I jump off of the side because part of your healing process is making sure you heal the inside. Yes, there's opportunities for you to heal those deep scars from childhood, those deep scars from young adulthood, those deep scars from yesterday. But it's hard to keep the healing process. Could you imagine if your Band-Aid was always a piece of toilet paper? Think about that for a second. I covered it up with toilet paper. How long till that thing shreds and disappears? It's designed to disintegrate. Oh, this is great. I got to write this down. Toilet paper training. Listen, this is how it happens. I don't know how to spell toilet paper, but we'll figure it out. TP training. The reason why is that too many of us are putting our Band-Aid on. We put a Band-Aid on. We put our Band-Aid. You'll put on the best compress. Something. I think that's how you say it. I don't even know how you say it anymore. You'll put the best Band-Aids with the best healing oils and the best ointments and the best everything on me. But you'll wrap some toilet paper around your hand and think, I've taken care of me. This is mom syndrome. Drop an M in the chat if you know mom syndrome. That you'll take care of everybody. You'll go get the best oils. You'll climb the mountain. To harvest the one little flower that blooms at midnight on the third Thursday of the third solstice of this, so that you could heal your babies. And then you'll wrap the Band-Aid around you, which is toilet paper, and you'll say, I'm fine. But mom, you're bleeding. I'm fine. It'll be fine. Today that stops, ladies. And guys, I know we do it too, but we're a little bit more box of Roxys. Ladies, I really want to speak to you for just a moment. This healing concept, this idea that you're going to go heal the world, I may lose some of you today. I hope you don't lose this conversation. You may not want to be around me again. I get it. I understand it. Having a guy explain this to you, how the heck does he know? I don't. I just know that if I've swam with enough wounded sharks, eventually, and if I haven't been eaten, there's a reason some of them want me to kind of see if I can't help them put themselves in a good state to heal their own wounds. See, my job isn't about giving you the answers. It's about having you ask better questions so that you can find your own answers. So this concept of you wanting to go heal one more person, and the challenge is that when the lower your energy gets, see if I'm on clue, see if I'm anywhere in the ballpark. Drop a park in the chat if I'm anywhere near the ballpark. Listen to my statement first. The lower we get in our energy, the more we feel we have to go heal. The only way out of this pain is that if we go serve more. The only way out of the pain is if we serve more. If I'm in the ballpark, drop park. So if we're in this pain and we're in this suffering and we're in this low, we feel, well, I love when I serve. The challenge is that when you serve, you're serving from an empty train. And it hits, it lands, but it doesn't stick. And then you feel worse, and it's this ever-ending cycle. So this idea of healing conscious is literally going to have to start with you. So I'm going to ask you to write down a word. Self-full. Write it as a single word together, a compound word together. Self-full. Not selfish. Self-full. I want you to write down self-full. I need you to hear this. I very rarely need you to do something, suggest and urge you to do something. I will give you guidance. I will give you, there's the river, step in, and about a quarter mile down, there's a little bit of rapids you might want to pay attention to. I really, this is a concept that I have been able to serve audiences in hundreds of countries, thousands of cities. In person, I've been able to do it in over 30 countries. It's okay for you to take time for yourself. The idea, so if I ask you to take a half hour for yourself today, how many of you just broke out in a sweat? Drop an S in the chat. How many of you just broke out into a cold sweat? If I said today you're going to take a half hour for yourself, you're going to go get your nails done, you're going to go get you're going to go, I know it doesn't take a half hour to get your nails done, can take an hour, right? Depending on, you like long nails or short nails? I hope you all just giggled a little bit. Oh, that's why you had no boyfriend. So it's okay. Here's the thing. Here's the reality. Here's the stark reality, is that as you begin to take care of yourself, the anointings that you give out, and they're literally that. Moms have been given a gift. Women, you have been given this gift of healing. And you can give out these anointings. You may not think they're much, but when your little kiddo comes to you and you kiss a boo-boo, how many, drop a KB if you've ever kissed a boo-boo. You could be an aunt and uncle. If you've ever kissed a boo-boo and made it better, drop KB in the chat. The reason that I ask you to do that is because you gave an anointing. You gave a healing. If you could, I get all teary with this stuff. If you could literally see the electron energy, the blast of light, of photon emission, when you get to lean down and kiss a little hand, all better, mommy. The literal, the photon emission, the acrylic, I think it's called acrylic photography. I know I'm saying that, I'm close to it. But when you can see the aura of that anointing, so I'm going to ask you to do something crazy, something silly, something crazy, silly, silly, crazy, silly, silly, crazy. I'm going to ask you to give yourself a kiss. Boo-boo, all better. I'm going to ask you to give yourself a little bit of an anointing. And why is this? Because you need some healing. And it's okay. All of this is always going to happen. Nobody knows how to heal a mom. Nobody knows how to heal their spouse. They just do nice things for them. And yes, we understand the love languages, speak the love languages. Well, you know what the best love language is? Somebody type in the chat, what's the best love language? And it has nothing to do with the 4 languages. I promise you. It's called, here, type it out. Type it out. This is the most powerful love language you will ever learn. And some of you know it, you've used it before and you've used it intermittently, but I'm going to ask you to go get your master's class in this love language. You want to know what love language it is? Anybody want to dare type it in the chat? Gratitude is it, but there's a better one. There's a better one even stronger than gratitude, because gratitude won't work until you have this love language. Anyone want to guess what it is? Self-love. You can have all the gratitude you want, but it's not going to work till you love yourself, because gratitude means it's already done. You can have all of the joy that you want, but it's never going to be joyful, because until you have self-love, it doesn't matter. You can write out your messages of joy, of love, of gratitude, your 10 gratitude blessings every day, but if you don't have self-love, they're not going to mean a dang thing. So until you see, we can do all the strategy. Writing out the blessings, your 10 blessings every morning is strategy. If you don't have self-love when you're saying it, when you're writing it, you're just filling up notebooks. Now, here's the great thing. When you have self-love and you go back and read those notebooks, you literally fire off the universe in a whole nother language. All of this, network marketing, me loving more, me loving me. Could you imagine if we started an industry where you got to learn how to love yourself a little bit more? Could you imagine an industry, a profession where you got paid that the more that you loved you, not narcissistically, the more that you loved you, that you had more energy on your train to give away, that you could wind up bringing, how many people could sit on your, listen, you're going to start a train today. We're going into the railroad business. You and me, we're going into the railroad business. First of all, you got your engine. Your engine's you. How many cars could you pull right now? How energetically strong are you right now? How healed are you? How many cars could you go pull? How many rail cars of people? How many passenger cars could you go pull? Jim Rohn said, listen, you could carry 1 on your back, maybe 2. If you're Wilt Chamberlain, maybe 3. Some of you may not have enough fuel to crank your engine. How many of you think you have this amazing machine, you have this incredible locomotive that could absolutely pull down the earth, but it's got no fuel? So you've got this locomotive and it's got no fuel. So first of all, how do we fuel it up? Right? Whistle while you work. For those of you that are old enough, you now have an earwig for the rest of the day. You're welcome. The way that we shovel in, what's the coal that we shovel in this locomotive called us? It's called self-love. It's called self-love. And the reason that social media has made us so dependent upon how many followers we have is because we haven't followed our damn self. We're not healed. We're wonderfully bandaged. And if somebody else hasn't fallen in love with us enough to give us their best compress, we're running around with tissue paper wrapped around our wounds. And we wonder why we can't move, because you got to wrap so much tissue paper around. Okay, so here's my bandage. I'm going to fix my, okay. So now, and who wants to hang around with somebody who looks like this? And then the blood's bleeding through, and everybody's like, you're healed? Uh-huh, yeah, no, I'm healed. Yeah, and then you start sticking stuff different places so you don't have people looking at you. So now you got your locomotive. We're going into the rail car business. How many people do you want to put behind you? I want to say thousands. Well, how many cars could you pull? If you got the thousands, how many cars could you pull? Well, we can't even get your engine started. Let's get your engine started, okay? So take a big breath in. What's your healing color of light? What's your healing color of light? We're going to go get some fuel. You ready? What's your healing color of light? Breathe that in. Feel that flowing into your lungs, feeling into your oxygen. What's your fear and doubt? What's the old coal that's sitting in there? What's the old garbage that's sitting in the rail car that we got to get rid of? Exhale that out. What color is that? Most people, it's this black smoke. Imagine the locomotive starting to kick off. Yes, it's not an electric one. We haven't gotten that far yet. Right now, it's just it's an old coal locomotive. It's burning clean coal. It's clean air. So now breathe in again. Breathe in your healing color of light. Start to hear the engine on the locomotive kick off. See, because you could have the greatest train. You could have the big boy, right? Have anybody ever seen the locomotive called Big Boy? That thing is a monster. But if it doesn't have fuel, it can't move. And here's the other thing. Here's the other reality. What does this locomotive need? What does this healing need? Follow me on this. How deep does your healing need to be? How heavy does the locomotive need to be? Do you understand why these things are so massive? Is because where does the pull start? The pull starts in about a 2.5-inch area. Do you realize that? The entire train is pulled on probably 6 or 7 different 2.5-inch areas. The total contact between the train, the locomotive, and the rails is equal to about a square foot, maybe a little more. You're going to go pull how much stuff by standing in 1 square foot? Think about this. If you were standing tall right now, and the only contact you had with the earth is the bottom of your feet, how strong does that have to be? How much of that friction has to be there in order to pull the people you want, to pull them out of pain and suffering? See, right now it's easy. Some of you could wear tap shoes and do this because you're pulling out 1 person, maybe 2 people. And then the healing was so shallow because you did shallow work with them, they left. Well, I worked hard with them. You didn't crack their subconscious. You didn't crack the egg. So how do we fix this healing? We start with us. We start with us. You know, sometimes there's things, if you ever, I don't know why you would ever do this, but if you ever get around a locomotive, when you see the drive wheels, there's going to be this little fan that's in front of the drive wheels. And it's just going to be as wide as the drive wheels. And it looks like it's picking up dirt. Anyway, so this little fan, this little funnel, reverse funnel that's sitting in front of the drive wheels, drops sand on the track to increase the friction when it's going to pull a heavy load. You know what the sand is on your track? It's your haters. Confused followers. Real Talk Kim says, those are your confused followers. So when you start this healing process, there's going to be some people picking at your scabs, poking at your wounds. That's your friction, baby. That's your friction. You got them going now. Until you start having people poke at you, they think you're dead. How many of you have ever come up on an animal that was sleeping and you thought maybe it was dead and you're like, hey, yo, whoa, hey, you awake? And then you poke it and then it goes, oh, oh. People poke at you. You know why people poke at you? A, you got their attention. B, they think you're dead. They can't be. Is this as good as they get? They got to be dead. Hello, where are you? Poke, 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 poke. And then what happens when the thing jumps up? If the thing jumps up and goes, we run back. They can't poke us anymore when we're alive. Some of you are on life support, and the life support is, I hope everybody likes my life. Nobody gives a rat's butt about your life. You have to give a rat's butt about your life. Poke. I see people in the chat putting poke fingers, poke, poke. Nobody cares about your life. No, you don't care about. Listen, Linda, listen. You can't believe anything at Grandma's house. Linda, listen, Linda, listen. And if there's any Lindas out there, my apologies. You know it's only a joke. The healing has to start with us. So are you ready to heal yourself a little bit? So do me a favor. Just wave this hand in the air, whatever dominant hand you are. You're probably right hand dominant. If you're left hand dominant, that's fine. Do both. So wave your hands in the air. And now imagine that as you're waving your hands in the air, you can actually feel them getting warmer. Feel your hands getting warmer. Now that might be a little bit of psychosomatics that I'm saying it, you're feeling it. Feel your hands getting warmer. What it's actually doing is you're actually cotton candying, cotton candy. You're cotton candying amazing healing energy, because that's what you're asking the universe for, right? Keep going. Keep going. Who feels their hands getting warmer? I know you can't type yet. Don't type. You can type in later. Keep going. I want you to feel this energy. Now, I want you to change the direction. I want you to start boiling that energy towards you and towards your spirit, towards your chest, right? We were out here. Now we're like here. I feel like that guy who does the church things, right? Right. Waving the hands. So now go ahead and take those warm hands and slowly hold them on your chest. Feel that energy flowing into your heart. Feel those unspoken words of gratitude that other people have never given you. Feel those flowing into you right now. Feel those words of thank you flowing into you right now. Feel those words of you're loved flowing into you right now. And if you start to lose that energy, just bring your hands back out like this. This self-healing is you. It's hard to heal from a broken soul. And it's why sometimes we fall in love with those people on the stage, because they can do it for a short term. It's what happens when they're off stage. It's what happens when they're off screen. It's what happens when you're off screen that people fall in love with. You're supposed to be good on stage. You're supposed to be good in a Zoom. You're supposed to be good when you're good. People connect to you, and the challenge is, as soon as you turn off the live button, the connect button, you go back into hell on earth. And it doesn't have to be that way. Your healing is deserved. So shake your hands out, shake your hands out. Big stretch, big stretch. Oh, big stretch. Feel the shift in your body. If it's okay if you yawn, because that's a shift in the brain. How many of you felt your hands get warmer? Drop a W in the chat if you felt your hands get warmer just doing that. How many of you felt just a little bit of energy flowing into your chest when you did that? See, you can do this every time. You don't need to attend a seminar to heal yourself. And let me let you in on a little bit. My experience. This is my experience, my research, over 20 years of research, probably 200,000 people. We could all use a little better. We could all be healed a little bit more. Every one of us, every day. It's okay to heal every day. So, hope that served you well today. Take time for you today. This healing consciousness is so absolutely critical, because you may have a money consciousness, a sales consciousness. Maybe you've already healed. Let me let you in on a little secret. Let me give this last little bit of aha. If you needed to have some healing today, here's the challenge. How hard is it for a broken soul to see somebody who's just like them have a healed soul? How hard is it to listen to somebody who has a healed soul if they don't show you they were broken? If I'm your prospect and I have a broken spirit, what do you think the percentage is? I don't know. I know the number I would pick, but you can pick a number. What number would you pick? Type it in the chat. What percentage of the people that you're about to go speak to, there's a good chance that they have some broken part, some wound in their soul that hasn't healed yet? The number's 100%. That's the number. I want you to be very clear. It's 100%. Because if it wasn't 100%, we wouldn't have the 2% who are trying to climb out of it all the time. And even the 2% are broken. Why is this so true? And the reason I say 100% of the people you're going to go meet with, because you're going to go meet with your peers. Oh, birds of a feather flock together. Listen, I'm pretty good at what I do. I'm working on chipping away some crap that still is around. I know it's around. The challenge is I have to go to Ring Central to rent the big crane that's got the big thing that they take down buildings with. And that it's been rented out by somebody else. I gotta go find another dealer to get that big jackhammer. I know it. I work on it every day. I'm Michelangelo in myself. I'm chippy away everything, not Sean. The challenge is when how many of you ladies, anybody with long hair, when they cut your hair because you said you wanted it short and they cut your hair, you went, oh, and your identity hit the floor. That's your hair. That's your hair. In one snip of a scissors, your identity went to the floor and like, oh my God, what did I do? Could you imagine if you all of a sudden you cut your hair away and you cut away all your pain and suffering? What would you do? What would you do the rest of the day if you didn't have pain and suffering? What would you do the rest of the day if your spouses or exes were in total alignment with you? What would you do if your kids always responded with yes, ma'am, and no, sir, and I absolutely, mom, I'll do it this moment? What would you do if all of your pain went away, if all of your suffering went away? What would you do? It's because that's the story you carry around. All of that goes away. I can promise you this. You want to talk about somebody who was complaining about their kid not sleeping at night? Ask that same family if they mind whether their kid's not sleeping or not, if they lived through a life-threatening situation one night in the hospital. Somebody chews with their mouth open. Would you please not chew with your mouth open? Tell me what happens after a car accident, God forbid, and it breaks their jaw and they can finally chew again. Just saying. We have to look at if the good is here now and it's okay, it's average, you can have bad, you can have good. What would excellent be? This is all about vibration. This is all about healing. And sorry, if you're listening to me, you're the one that has to heal. You can't ask other people to heal while you're still trying to heal. You're the one that's decided you want to go make the world a better place. You're the one that decided you want to make your world a better place. You're the one that says, I'm going to show up and I'm going to listen to some conversations that's going to force me to ask better questions so I can get better answers. You're the one. If the other one was supposed to do it, they'd be here and you'd be sitting somewhere. But you're the one. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but you're the one. You're the one that has to do it for you. As soon as you do it for you, everything changes. You're the one. There is no one else. It's impossible for anyone else to take your hero's journey. So on this Friday, remember, rotate your hands, spin your hands, put them on your chest. Do what Tony Robbins teaches. If you really want a cool meditation, it's a 20-minute meditation. You can do it anytime. Go do Tony Robbins 20-minute meditation. Do Tony Robbins meditation. It's on YouTube. You can go to TonyRobbins.com and find it as well. But the stacking, reach out, stack good things. What are some good things? Stack it. The universe knows some of the good things that it has in store for you. Could you imagine? Listen, here's another visual. Just listen. If you know me by now, you know it comes in. If it comes in, it comes out. Could you imagine? Listen to this. How would you feel? I'm going to put you in the universe's footprints, in the universe's shoes, in God's shoes. It's a surprise birthday party for your bestest, your BFF of all BFFs. Can you think of your BFF of all BFFs? And it's you, and you are literally have them bamboozled. You have them all. They have no idea that you're doing the surprise party for them. You got it? The surprise party of surprise parties. You've got all of the things. You've got donkeys. You've got horses. You've got ponies. You've got llamas. You've got everything that they love. You've got elephants. You've got circus swings. You've got trapeze artists. You've got firewalkers. You've got everything that is absolutely, it's the most blowout surprise birthday party. You rented a football stadium and you've got, it's you and your BFFs. And we're all waiting on that one BFF to show up at the door. You're like, here they come. Oh my gosh, they're going to open it. And then they turn around and walk away. and you can't tell them to come back in. And they thought you didn't care. Oof. Drop an H in the chat if some of you are getting hit kind of hard with this. God's got everything ready for you as close as your skin and has this party planned for you every single day, every single day, every single second, every single second. Sadhguru says choose joy or choose misery. Sadhguru says choose joy or choose misery. And you have this party planned. It's the most amazing thing ever. You're ready to pop the streamers. Oh, surprise! And they turn around and walk away. Wascally Wabbit. Elmer Fudd's here now. And they turn around and walk away. And you shake it off. Oh. And you shake it off and you're like, okay. Oh, they're turning around. They're turning around. Everybody back in place, everybody back in place. And they're coming back. And they're coming back. And they're coming back. And they're coming back to the door. Okay, ready. Everybody get back in your places, And you got to try to reorganize this chaos of gratitude on this side and joy and happiness. And they get ready. They open the door and they turn the knob. And they hear a gnat fart 20 feet away. And they walk away. And you're like, son of a biscuit eater, what's going on? Oh my gosh. All right, put it back on hold. You tell the horses to stop standing on their back feet. And this goes on and on and on and on. And day after day after day. Your refusal of your call is exhausting. And the first call is to heal yourself. Now, if you choose the DIY method of healing, the do-it-yourself healing, you will constantly be spinning your wheels. Constantly. How many of you know that feeling of getting to the door and going back, getting to the door and going back? You're the one that wants to serve your friends and goes back. And could you imagine the universe? How the heck does the universe, how does God stay so prevalent? Well, God knows everything we're going to do. Yes, but he also gives us free will. She gives us free will to do certain things. But free will has no power with lack of discipline. Oh, snap. Your free will has no proof that it works with lack of discipline. And your discipline falls short because it has no healing authority. If you know that's you, I'd encourage you to go to finallyconscious.com and join me in the DC community. Finallyconscious.com. It's going to be open from today till the 2nd. Over $100,000 has been created in income across the group, across the community. How many of you would you have been okay with an extra $1,000 this past month? It's not about the money. It's about the healing that allows you the money. The only reason the money can't come is because you're limited in the vibration. So come join me in Dangerous Consciousness. Go to finallyconscious.com. It's open now for the next 72 hours. And listen, if in the 72 hours you don't think it's worth 10 times the amount, ask for your money back. It's $50. Oh, I haven't even raised it. Well, there you go. That's how conscious I am of it. Invite your friends, invite them to come, because if what I just shared with you kind of hit you, it's time to no longer be hit. It's time to fall back in love and to heal yourself. Finallyconscious.com. I'm your brain training, healing consciousness misfit. I'll see y'all where? I'll see you at the next event. Till then, bye for now. And YouTube, love you tons. Appreciate you. Hope you have an amazing YouTube kind of day. I'll see y'all where? Finallyconscious.com.